and a warm welcome to Art House. On today's edition of the program, artists are doing something different in their solo shows, while a female artist in Abuja is connecting the dots between how a designer creates a bag and how an artist creates an image. At another gallery in Lagos, an artist is celebrating a veteran. That's what's on our lineup today. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's take our arty quote now, and I'll be right back.
How the city attracts all types, and how the unwary must suffer from ignorance of its ways. An artist, in my understanding of the word, should side with the people against the emperor that oppresses his or her people.
Icing on Burnt Cake is a solo show by Erasmus. It is his way of paying tribute to the veteran Ghanaian artist El-Anatsui at 75.
He's a veteran artist who has spent most of the active years of his career in Nigeria and has caught the eye of the international community for his iconic bottle-top installations. But that's not present in this show because it's not by him, but for him.
Icing on Burnt Cake is a metaphor. It's a poetic way of telling the Nigerian story, telling the African story, where ugliness are buried behind beauties, where fantasies are buried behind ugliness. So I'm using Icing on Burnt Cake as a way of representing the way the social, the political life of Nigeria and the Africa in at large camouflaged with beauties and fantasies.
His works are unique. A lot of persons have done this kind of painting or sculpture pieces, but they've not done it in this manner. Now, what I'm seeing is a sculpture painting. I don't know whether they have that definition when you talk about sub-disciplines of the visual art. This is a normal sculpture pieces pioneered by Professor El-Anatsui, to whom this exhibition is dedicated. He's doing this exhibition in his honor. And it's usually panels, separated panels joined together in what we call installation, format. But none has been able to add garnishing, like he said, icing on burnt cake. No one has been able, from my own knowledge, been able to add the type of icing and garnishing and embellishment on this genre of sculpture piece in order to arrive at what we are seeing today. On first impression, you would think he painted them. At a point, when this kind of art started, people were adding colors, painting the paste on spots and so on. Some people tried to introduce painting, but now you can see that it's not painting, it's more than painting, using painted material and source color. So it's sculpture, but the painting component of it has given it another level of sculpture piece beyond what we know. In fact, it belongs to what I call the El-Anatsui school of art in Nigeria, and to me is a foremost student of that school of art. Is the leading person, leading exponent in the group by virtue of what I've seen.
Contemporary artist Erasmus is the one doing this solo show at the Thought Pyramid Arts Center in Lagos to celebrate veteran Ghanaian artist who is 75.
Professor L inspired me because he brought me here as a first-year student. This same Norman Williams to exhibit in My Dream Gallery in the year 2001 as a first-year student then. So first of my inspiration come from him because he has been a mentor. He has been mentoring and inspiring us. Then too, another thing that inspired me a lot is poetry. Poetry, you know, I like listening to words. Like William Wordsworth said, that poems are emotions collected in tranquility or expression of one's innermost feelings. So I like using my work as tactile poetry, poetry that can be felt, poetry that can be seen, visual poetry.
From the works displayed, there's been an influence from one generation to the next. It's revealed in the style and the direction his works of art has taken.
One of them is titled Stitches and Bandages. They are, you know, Ola Oloide says that an artist is a surgeon. He cuts through the flesh of a sick society using sympathetic instruments, thereby correcting those ills that are repugnant to human existence. So an artist is some sort of a social doctor. So I'm using stitches and bandages as a way of telling the pains. You know, the society is so injured that as an artist, I wish to sew that pain together, thereby using my art to ameliorate the situation of the society.
Sincerely, this is the first time I'm entering a gallery like this. And sincerely, I'm very, very amazed. This is a very, very good work. I love it. I think I've went around both the upstairs and the gallery and the dance floor. I'm very, very impressed. I'm very, very impressed. I feel like taking the whole thing to my house, just for you to know how much I'm happy about it.
I'm trying to look at the metaphorical, the political situation in Nigeria also, where I imagine after sweeping a house, there are pieces of broom all over. So that is effort in futility. If they think about the change mantra in Nigeria, for instance, where we are meant to sweep the blemishes in the society, but can a dirty individual sweep? You know, I don't understand. You cannot be dirty and still be, you know, and still trying to force cleanliness on the polity. So I'm using that work, you know, as a social commentary. So what is it, you know, to comment on what is happening in Nigeria.
Just like his mentor, Erasmus's pieces are also life-sized, and the materials he uses are a combination of different objects.
I work with pyrography. I work through the process called pyrography, like charring of wood. I work through spring position of forms on wood. And I also do a lot of incising to create impressive and poetic intaglios and cameos on wood.
His works are outstanding and highly creative. A manifestation of his sound tutelage.
Right from the time I knew him, he has been a very wonderful artist. He's creative. I like his level of conceptualization. When he thinks about an idea and presents it, it is always very catchy, attention-sustaining, and philosophically laden with ideas that will help the art, industry.
Richard Ntiru, in his poem Introduction, says that the society is like a market stall. Men are goods on display, where the label is more important than the labeled. and the price more fascinating than the value. I'm trying to send a message that the content should be like the container. So it shouldn't be icing burnt cake. You know, it's like having a tomb with a rotten body and the tomb is embellished. So the content should be like the container. That's the message.
This is a one-of-a-kind type of show, and to see this sort of appreciation shows that El-Anatsui has already left his footprints in the sands of time.
It's good to celebrate our legends while they are alive, and we do that every week on this show, as well as encourage the next generation to succeed.
These are the works of art you sent in this week. Some of our young artists are celebrating the artists they admire in Nigeria, just like this one called Let Us Rain Colors. He's celebrating the popular comedian Helen Paul with this oil on needlepoint work of art. Then Erasmus Captain John is celebrating Simi Gold with this work of art called Simply Simi. It's done with pastel pencil and pencil on sketchpad. Then Strongest Bond is an acrylic on canvas piece where Sholas Demola is celebrating this mother and child. Revealing your true self is what Daniel Olawoye is doing with charcoal on alabaster. Ellis Bonsu has this work done with acrylic on paper. He calls it Last Dance. With the election fever, Luke has captured it with this oil on canvas work called Pandora's Box. He says, what fate awaits Nigeria after the 2019 polls? Finally, Ebe Bobo Etinosa has this Masi Tribe African. It's done with acrylic on board. And those are the works you sent in this week. We do encourage you to keep them coming.
Taking a moment now, when Art House returns, it's off to the nation's capital, Abuja, for a solo exhibition by a female contemporary artist. So join us again.
Born in 1948, he has a cinematography career that spans over 4 decades. In his early days, the rich Yoruba culture, plus the experience he got at the London Film School, where he studied the art of filmmaking, prepared him for the height he has attained today.